Well, as Dorothy said in The Wizard of Oz, there is no place like home, especially if that home here is in the land of enchantment. Finding your home, exploring homes of others, and adding truly unique accents for the home is what New Mexico Magazine is exploring in the month of April. Joining us now to discuss the latest issue is Dave Herndon, editor-in-chief of New Mexico Magazine. Dave, always a pleasure to see you. So, first of all, we got to talk about this cover picture, this house. You want to talk about a storied house that has an amazing history. It's this one. What do we have on the cover this month?
Well, this is the homestead that was established by Peter Hurd and Henriette Wyeth Hurd in the middle of the 20th century, and of course, they were one of the first family of American painting, not
Right.
just New Mexico painting.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, connecting the Wyeths from the East Coast and the Hurd from Roswell,
Mm-hmm.
and they had this great homestead with several houses on it, on the
Mm-hmm.
property, and also obviously very conducive to painting and arts. But they had such a great collection of friends and people that would be going through there.
Yeah.
A typical lunch might include some famous cowboy, Helen Hayes, the Prime Minister of Thailand.
Yeah.
I mean,
Amazing names and dignitaries that
And
stop by
Michael Hurd, who's a established painter in his own right, their son now runs it as a guest home and gallery.
Okay.
And he grew up there, and he's got great stories that he related
So
to.
it is open to the public. We can go
you-
out and we can see this homestead.
You can stay there.
You can stay there,
Yeah,
okay.
they have like 5 houses you can, pick, and they're kind of, plain and homey, folksy,
Mm-hmm.
and a very, we call it the story of the art of living.
Mm-hmm.
And, there's a double entendre there because they're painters and it's all very
Sure.
aesthetic, but
Sure.
they also established this domestic lifestyle that represents the best of New Mexico
Yeah.
in a certain way.
Yeah, and it's a really interesting article, guys. I encourage you to read it to also find out how they got their colors to paint and everything. I mean, it really is frontier. It's amazing.
We have a companion piece. Peter Hurd wrote a story for the January 1961 issue that we excerpted in this issue. He was just about as good a writer as he was a painter.
Really? Wow.
And he's very evocative about the landscape and the culture and the local influences that
Yeah.
he was expressing in his paintings. So, it's a really good
Great
lore
story.
on the.
Now, another thing you have in here in terms of lore, stories, a lot of good stuff. You survey 4 different pickers.
Yeah.
Like people that are going out and they're antiquing 4 very diverse backgrounds. And they're
Yes.
giving us some tips and tricks to do it ourselves.
Right. So, this is a great state for antiquing, vintage stuff from, great antiques to, flea market stuff. And in places like Silver City and Las Vegas and Taos and Santa Fe and every place in between, there are specialized places where you can go to find specialized stuff.
Yeah.
And so we spotlighted 4 different kinds of pickers. One of them kind of specializes in, cowboy, western,
Right.
cowboys and Indian stuff. Another one is a set designer for a decorator for TV and movies, and where does she go to get her props around Albuquerque and stuff? So
And some of the stuff she actually grabbed. A lot of people, including studios, I believe it was Warner's, was so excited by her finds that they kept it.
Yeah,
she didn't
so
resell it after. They
right.
said, we're keeping
she
this.
She found a trove of mid-century modern furniture for
Yeah.
a set for a show, and then they hijacked
And they
it
just
back
kept
to
it.
Hollywood.
Yeah, that's right. So now what we're looking at here, if we don't want to do the
Yeah.
antiquing, but we want to
Right.
get some new custom furniture and some custom pieces for the home, we're talking about a craftsperson up in Taos.
Right, that's Emily Henry, and her furniture line is called Millicent Designs. It's inspired by Millicent Rogers, who was the queen of Taos style. She put made Southwestern chic.
Right.
And Emily is inspired by her. Emily herself grew up in Taos. She's also, her parents were artsy and in an artsy community, kind of in the way the Hurds
Right.
were. And she does these beautiful, handcrafted furniture designs, extending 20th century Taos style into the 21st century.
Yeah, really beautiful stuff. So also, before we get out, I want to mention the featured destination this month, Ruidoso.
Right.
Very quickly, Dave, what's happening down there?
Ruidoso has become a place to go for outdoorsy activities and sports. I mean, there's some serious athletes go there for high altitude training.
Right.
So they have the infrastructure and facilities. There's a very serious mountain biking trail in there, and they have big events. And there's a zip line, there's a disc golf course, and then so whether you're a weekend warrior or just somebody who likes to hike or a serious athlete training, Ruidoso has it all for you. And they have amenities like yoga studio, that's worth checking out, and then a place to get a massage after all that activity, and
Right.
some places to get healthy food. So Ruidoso is becoming sort of a mountain, sporty mountain outdoorsy
It's a
spa
beautiful,
retreat.
beautiful spot in New Mexico.
And it's not far from the Herd Riconanda.
Oh yeah,
Yeah, right.
absolutely.
You put
So you can
those
make
together.
it. You can make it a
Yeah,
weekend.
yeah.
All right. So Dave, very quickly, if we want to get a copy of this, where do we go? I know we can go on nmmagazine.com, subscribe
Yes.
to it, but if we want to find it on newsstands, where do you recommend?
At the convenience stores and grocery stores, and where magazines are sold.
Okay.
We're all over the place, and if we're not, go up to the manager and say, "Where's my New Mexico
There
magazine?"
you go. That's right. Make change happen in your community.
Right.
For more information on the latest issue of New Mexico Magazine, or for a full recap and links to nmmagazine.com, head over to casa.com. Dave, always a pleasure to see
Good
you.
to see you, Chad.